Hello, everyone. We got the next championship series going on. We got the 1A champs. We got Goodhue. This is the first time they've been on, first timers here at the championship series. So, welcome, welcome. We'll have them introduce themselves and then we'll get going. Lola, we'll kick it off with you.
I'm Lola. I'm a freshman guard. Um, Lodermeier's go.
I'm Kenzie and I'm a freshman guard.
I'm Kendyl and I'm a junior forward. Elisabeth?
I'm Elisabeth and I'm a senior point guard.
And we'll kick it to
Natalie.
you.
I'm Natalie Thomforde, a sophomore guard.
And I'm Aubrey, a freshman guard.
Well, once again, welcome, welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for taking your time. Once again, congratulations on a fantastic season. It was a very impressive run once you got to state. Some of you guys are now in AAU, but we'll go back. We're gonna talk about the high school season here a little bit. We'll start with the senior point guard leader. Let's start from the very, very beginning. The year before, you guys were 2A, had fallen in a hard-fought game against Albany at state. Now coming into this year in the 1A, did you feel kind of like state or bust as a team, or did you kind of feel like, we're just gonna take it day by day, game by game?
We definitely took it game by game. We knew that the championship game was like a goal of ours that we could definitely get to. And I think we all just really wanted it very badly. In the Albany game last year, we kind of had trouble scoring the ball, but I think we did that pretty good in the semis. So
I'd say so. We'll kick it over to the Lodermeiers. We'll go with Kendyl to begin with. So you guys' schedule, it was hard. You guys had Providence, you had Stillwater there twice, Byron. How do you feel throughout the year your guys' difficult schedule kind of prepared you for what you guys would face at state?
I think it was really good for us that especially our conference in the HBL, we play a lot of good competitors and it prepares us for like being on the big stage and playoffs and at state, and it's good for us to prepare.
Natalie, so you guys got to play Mountain Air and Buell in the regular season. Do you feel there's an advantage or disadvantage or no real advantage either way of getting to kind of see them before running into them with all the marbles when it came to state?
I think there is an advantage, especially to see how Jordan Zubich played and our future of stopping her, especially when it came to that big state game, and seeing how that Hallie Sevilla or whatever her name is,
Yep.
How she plays. She's definitely their second best player.
Lola, we'll come to you. So throughout the year, how would you say the veteran leaders on the team, the Elisabeths, the Kendyls, the rest of them, how did they kind of lead the group and kind of lead by example, or was it, kind of vocally? How did they each lead the team?
They all led in different ways. They would always have examples and they would help us no matter what. We didn't have to be the ones to ask them. They would help us in practice, in the game, off the court or on the court. They covered that good.
Hey, Aubrey, at the start of the year, when did you maybe know that, hey, we can really do some things special here this year? Was it right off the bat? Was there a certain game that you guys were like, oh, okay, we can really make some damage this year?
I think we had some games in there that we knew that they didn't maybe start how we wanted to, but we always finished, I guess, better than the first half if the first half didn't go as we wanted.
Okay.
And I think finishing strong helped us with our season.
I like it. Elisabeth, we'll have you say, what was maybe the coach's message at the beginning of the year and kind of throughout for you guys, when you guys would play the Providences, the Stillwaters, the Mountain Air and Buells, kind of what was their message for you guys?
Just that, that he believed in us and told us to work hard. He told us at the beginning of the season, I scheduled a hard schedule on purpose. So we were all kind of prepared for the hard schedule ahead of us. So
Okay. Kenzie, will come to you. What was some of your favorite games throughout the year, earlier year, end of the year, kind of what were some of your favorite games that you guys got to experience throughout the season?
I think Providence coming to Goodhue was really cool. We had a huge atmosphere. A lot of people came and watched and getting to experience playing them, and a lot of people there was fun before making it to state.
So we've talked about some of your guys' difficult opponents. We'll have each player, we'll start with Lola. What was the most difficult opponent to play this year? Player-wise or team-wise? What was one of the most difficult ones that you remember having to play guard yourself or kind of go against as a team?
I remember the Hancock game when we lost by a few points, but I know that a lot of us, or some of us, weren't feeling the best. So, as like like Elisabeth, but like I don't know, it was a good game just to learn from and play off of.
Kendall, what was some of the opponents that you either were the hardest to play, opponents personality-wise or team-wise?
I think that Providence definitely had some really good high pressure defense that we don't see as much in the season. And then of course like playing Mountain Iron Buell 2 times and locking down on Jordan Zubich and just like all around when their other players stepped up, we stayed with them on defense.
Kenzie?
Yeah, I agree with Kendyl. Playing Mountain Iron Beal twice and having to guard Zubich 2 times throughout the year helped me a lot, I think. And it was hard, but it was a good challenge.
Natalie?
I'd say probably Manning Greenway with Providence or the Hancock game, like Lola said.
Aubrey?
Yeah, the Providence and Mountain Iron View game definitely challenged us like defensively.
Come to Gadient, senior leader.
We saw a lot of good players. Zubich and Greenway are definitely on the top of that list, but like Byron, Kendra Harvey, she's good. She was pretty tough to guard. Yeah.
So where would you say, we'll start with Kendall, where would you say the team from the very beginning of the year to the very end, where did you guys maybe improve the most as a team throughout the year?
I think that our team chemistry improved the most with like losing a bunch of seniors and then kind of just figuring out a feel for like each other on the court and getting to know what the other people do so you can like read and react. And then also a lot of the younger players like really stepped up throughout the season and a lot was always changing, but like for the better.
Elisabeth, I know Goodhue kind of has a history. It's a historical program, always kind of been good, 1A and 2A. I think the sisters have other sisters who have played throughout some state tournaments and whatnot. What was your like message as that senior leader to like the younger ones coming in to like kind of keep that leadership going, kind of keep that tradition of success and winning going?
Just if you want it, you gotta work for it. I mean, nothing's gonna come easy. So everyone here has worked very hard to get us to where we were, and so I'm proud of them for that. And yeah, just to work hard at.
Fair. I like it. I like it. So we'll talk now. We get to state. We've, clinched the ticket to go to state. Natalie, we'll start with you. What is that feeling when you're at state? Is there nerves, excitement, mixture of both? Kind of what's the thought process when you guys are like, hey, we're going to state?
I think it's a mixture of both. I mean, we're definitely excited because our goal from the beginning was to win state, obviously. And I think we were a little bit nervous, especially since we're all kind of young, especially like Aubrey and Lola and Kenzie and I. So, yeah.
How about you, Aubrey? What was your thought process? Kind of once you're officially at state, I mean, there's still 3 games to go, but it's kind of what's your thought process?
Yeah, definitely seeing everyone there was nerve-wracking and like seeing everyone in the stands and stuff, especially it being like my first time there.
Lola.
I kind of just thought of it as like another game, but then like looking at everyone there, kind of like Aubrey said,
There.
made it like different. But yeah.
Kenzie, it's one of the freshmen.
Yeah, so it was nerve-wracking and exciting both. When we made it to state, we were all super excited, but like going up to the U and playing there, it's definitely nervous. And like we knew all the teams there were going to be good. It was going to be a close game throughout the entire tournament. So it was a little bit of both, but super exciting.
So Kendall and Elisabeth, you guys have played, at state multiple times, 2A and 1A. You're kind of hearing the younger ones kind of say like, it was exciting. We didn't know what to expect. For you guys, is there more pressure when you kind of are like as seniors and juniors, or is there less pressure, or is it more kind of focused? Kind of walk us through kind of the difference between like the younger ones coming in and like what you guys experience as kind of the veterans.
I'd say so. I feel like there was always kind of that pressure on us. But I'm just so glad they got to experience it, and glad we got there. I was nervous, so I was kind of trying to hide it from them to make them less nervous, but yeah, it's exciting.
Kendall, more or less nervous, more or less exciting when you kind of are like the veteran on the team?
I thought that everybody was a little bit nervous, but like I was proud of what we had accomplished and what everyone had done throughout the season. And I also knew that like we had prepared for this throughout the season without even knowing it, just supporting each other and calming each other down when we needed. And we were ready to play. So I felt like a sense of calmness once we got there at the same time.
So we'll come back to Elizabeth. I always ask this. I know competitors sometimes won't always play some of the best, but was there a thought process of like, we don't want to see Mountain Air a second time? Did we want that matchup coming championship? What was the thought process? Because it was kind of a lot of people went into 1A, myself included, thinking it's Goodhue and it's Mountain Air. There really was not going to. Did you guys want that matchup? Were you kind of hoping they would get tripped up along the way?
Um, well, I kind of thought like whatever happens, happens, but
Fair.
I want to play Mount Mobile just because we had seen them previously. All these 1A schools we have never seen really or played against, so it's kind of hard coming into those games like not knowing what to expect and not knowing anyone because we haven't played them. But Mount Arbule we have, so I think it was nice kind of having familiar like players to play against and knowing what their moves and what they do. So
Fair. Lola, did you have a welcome to state moment, like up on the barn floor, semifinals, quarterfinals, like you're at, it's a bigger court, it's a bigger arena. Did you have one of those moments?
I would say like the first time I subbed in, that was kind of when I realized like, oh, like it's a bigger game than just like a regular season game. But
Fair.
yeah.
I'll come to the sisters. So, Kendall, you had been there before. Kenzie, what was your, I guess, Kendall, what was your advice to Kenzie at state in terms of like staying calm when she's on the court in the game kind of thing? What was your advice having, and how cool is it to have like a sister be there, kind of like a sibling to go through that with?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I was very excited that we could like experience that together and just in general, like throughout the season, being able to play together. But I definitely was just kind of watching out for her and all the other players, just if they got frustrated to calm them down. But they all did really good and were very independent at the same time and handled themselves very well.
Kenzie, what was it like having big sister there to be like, hey, I'm nervous now, or like on the court, being on the court with?
Yeah, I think it was really cool not only to like have the tight family team that our family has or that our team has, but having a sister is like just a different feeling on the court, getting hurt and her being there and like just throughout the entire game, she's always there along with everyone else.
Yeah, I gotta give you a shout out, Kenzie. You had took some hard falls that I would have been done. I ain't coming back. And I'm like, man, that you could hear some of those falls, and I'm like, geez, that the youth, because I'd have been done. Just saying. But you got back up. You got back up. So we'll come to Natalie. What was your welcome like this tournament run? Did you have a moment where you like took it in kind of like wow, we're at state, or like wow, this is the big moment, this is the big game right now? Did you have one of those moments?
I would say probably the Mayor Lutheran game with me just like scoring a lot more than I normally do because I knew like Kendall and Liz would get scouted a lot better and like these teams had a lot better defense than we've seen and like yeah.
Aubrey, did you have one of those moments kind of, hey, you're stepping on the court and you're like seeing, you're looking around, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I feel like just like the whole thing was like each game was like that same feeling kind of.
I like it. So then we get to that championship matchup. We got who we want. It's 1 versus 2. I think all 4 of the championships were 1 versus 2. So you guys get to kick it off. You guys don't even get a day to relax. You don't even get to like watch other games. You kick it right off at noon. Elizabeth, we'll start with you. You prepare for that game the same as any other game? Do you like let it kind of seep in like how big that is that it's for a championship? Kind of what's your mentality as like that's win or lose, that was your last high school game kind of situation. What was your mental like state and the mentality going into that game?
I had a lot of confidence going into that game, and I had a lot of confidence in my team. I didn't treat it like any other game. I kind of stayed up a little too late. Natalie was in my room. We could not fall asleep. We were a little antsy, but yeah, we were just so excited and wanted to just get it over with because we just wanted to go out and play. And yeah.
Is it almost easier to kind of just play in the like have the game going on instead of like the lead up to it, the introduction, I think all of that kind of like even as a fan, you're kind of like, okay, we're doing the national anthem, we do the introduction, like you almost just want to get on the court and get playing because you're like it leads up so much, and then you almost get the nerve that way. Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, for sure. I'm like that all the way up until tip off.
Fair.
So
Kendyl, we're gonna ask about all the players you have here, all the young ones and all that stuff. Who was you guys most scared of that would go flying off the raised court?
What'd you say? You kind of glitched out a bit.
Oh, my bad. Who was the one of all your teammates that you were worried was gonna go flying off the raised floor? I've heard a lot of coaches and players were nervous about that.
Like get out of control.
Maybe not out of control, but like they're just kind of they go all out and they don't like they're so focused they're not even noticing they're towards the end of that raised floor. Like I always joke, like people always say with Providence, they knew Madden was gonna fly right off that court and had no clue where she was. Is there anyone on your team that you were like, we're a little nervous, they might go flying off the court and not realize it's a raised floor?
Probably Lola, honestly, because she just gets like it's a good thing. She's so aggressive and so physical, and she's so intense. Like it's a really good thing. And then sometimes we just have to like tell her, like use it in a good way.
Fair. Lola, see, that's a good thing. Like when you're so focused that their teammates are like, she might go flying off the court, you're running through a wall. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, and then we'll come to you.
Had one of those moments.
Fair. I said, Gadient, I don't ever think I was super worried about because you were pretty like usually under control. You're like, plus you were just faster than most people on the opponent side, so you just kind of usually outran them. That's most of your team. You were a pretty fast team, so I wasn't super worried. But I always ask that question because the raised floor is a whole new ball game when you're like a normal court and it's just like a wall there instead of like a drop and a wall.
Mhm. Yeah, I wasn't worried about that, but Aubrey had a play where she ran and threw it off the Mount Iron Buell girl, and I thought she was gonna be gone.
Hey, extra hustle there, Aubrey. Extra hustle. I'm liking it. So then I'll ask each one of you. We'll start now with Natalie. Was there a moment? When was the moment in the game? It could be at tip-off. It could be at the final buzzer. When did you know we got this? This is our title. They're not taking it. Was there that moment, or was it not till the final buzzer?
I feel like not until the final buzzer, but we started with such a good like start. Like it was like 9-0, and I think that really got like our energy and motivation going. So I kind of like had a feeling, but you never know until the buzzer so like goes.
Aubrey, did you have a moment, or was there one where like, okay, we got this?
I think it was like just the final buzzer because they started kind of scoring towards the end, but then we kept getting sent to the free throw line. But I think it was like the final buzzer.
Lola, it's over now, so you guys can be honest. You can be honest. You're like, yeah, we thought we had it at halftime.
I kind of thought from the beginning our energy was really up and our shots were falling, so I felt pretty good about it.
I like it. Kenzie, how about you? When was the moment? I mean, after you got taken after like poor sister had to help you off the court because someone pushed you over, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think right from the beginning of the game too, like we started off with a really good start, a lot of energy. Our defense the whole game was just super high pressure. We kept getting stops on and off the floor. So yeah, I think from the start it was just a strong and high energy game.
Kendyl, did you have a moment where you thought we got this, or was it not till the final buzzer?
I think that the night before I was like really nervous for some reason, and then I woke up the next morning and I just felt like super calm and like really good about it. And then also during the game, like every single time we called a timeout or they called a timeout, just our energy coming into the huddle was unmatched, and it was amazing to see.
How about Miss 1A MVP? Was there a moment where you thought we have this right now, or no?
I think it was the third three-pointer in the beginning of the first half of Natalie's. That we were 3 for 3 from the line, and I was that pumped me up. I was super excited.
Y'all looking like Caitlin Clark out there because none of y'all were at the line, by the way. I'm saying none of you were at the line. You were behind the gopher line, and there's two lines there. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, they're feeling pretty good. I'll say as a fan watching it, when they started fouling and it was Kendyl and Elisabeth going to the free throw line, I'm like, seniors, I'm like, the senior leader, these two leaders are not losing this game. Like, that's when we kind of knew, like, they're fouling them two. Those two are going to the line. You guys were both, I think you both had a double-double, 1 point in rebounds, 1 point in rebounds, and you were a few assists off, I think, if I remember correctly. You two weren't losing. I mean, they were going to have to come pretty hard to try and win. So that's when I was kind of like, okay, Goodhue has this. Now let's talk about, so Gadient, you're going to be moving on to Mankato State, defending champ. So defending champ, go into defending champ, not a bad move. What's your message to the rest of the girls now as they try to go for back-to-back next year?
I have complete confidence in them. I think just to take practice kind of seriously. There was a couple days a few years ago when we didn't even make it to state where our practices could have been more intense than they were, and I think that kind of had an impact on us as a team. So just work hard in practice, really.
So, well, I'll ask the veteran coming in senior veteran, and then I'll go to the younger players. Kendyl, do we talk about back-to-back, or do we just say, hey, day to day, game by game, we're not gonna throw back-to-back, or do we talk about it?
I say day to day, like that's just me personally, but just keep working with each other.
Okay. We'll go to some of the younger ones that are kind of taking on bigger roles next year. Lola, talk about back-to-back right away, day to day. Kind of what's the thought process from you?
I would have to go day by day too. Just focus in practice and then play each game how we can, the best we can.
Fair. Natalie, how about you? Day by day, are we coming in with like we want to go back to back?
I would say day by day as well. I mean, we obviously want to win, but every day, like nothing's given, so we got to work hard as well as we did this year.
How about Aubrey? Day to day? Are we gonna keep it going?
Yeah, day to day.
We're coming to Kendy. Come
Yeah,
on.
I definitely have that in our mind, but
There. We're coming to Kendy. Come on, Ken. Let's say back to back. Come on.
Well, I think we should take it like game by game, but obviously, I think from the start of the year, winning again would be one of our goals. But obviously, we were going to play game by game and hopefully improve throughout the year and lead up to another win.
Fair. I think because I think you guys should be the favorite in 1A at least to come back out again. I would say. Natalie, since she's here, we'll hype her up a little bit. What are you gonna miss the most from Gadient as a player, on, off the court, person, player? What are you gonna miss the most next year?
I think just like her being a leader and like providing energy on the court, and like she was one of our main scorers, so I think we'll definitely miss that, and us younger ones will need to keep stepping up our game.
Fair, fair. Kendyl, as the senior leader, has it hit you yet kind of next year that you'll be the senior leader, or has it kind of been, I guess, well, I'll say, how have you learned from a Gadient as leadership style? Are you more kind of a lead by example, or kind of vocally, kind of mixture of both? How do you plan on being that leader? I mean, you were a leader this year, kind of next year you might be viewed kind of as like taking that Gadient role.
Definitely a mixture of both. Like I emphasize a lot being vocal on the court and like always communicating with each other. And then also just like helping people out in practice or pointing things out just to teach them, and then also ask them like what they want out of me as well.
Fair. I like that. And then, so I'm gonna come to the sisters because I think an older sister may have like thrown down the gauntlet saying she has 2 rings and you guys have 1 so far. So that has to be a goal to kind of be like, okay, we can have 2 now, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're in a competitive family. They mean well, but they always will shove that in our face until we can prove them wrong.
I think
Till we
they
get
told us
2.
that right after we won, so.
And Kenzie, you can go for 3 or 4. Come on now, you can go for 3 or 4. You can top the whole family list right there. Come on now. So I said I always end with these. I won't take your whole day. We'll end with these. We'll start with Lola. I would like to do the word association. What's the one word that comes to mind when you think of the 2023-2024 Goodhue girls basketball team?
I'm gonna have to say like funny.
I
Pretty
like it.
funny team. Yeah.
Aubrey,
SIAC.
I'm gonna need a little explanation from that, more than one word, but maybe.
Success is a choice.
Okay, hey, I like it. We're doing acronyms. I got it.
Yeah.
Natalie,
I would just say family because we're just one big family.
what a good transition to the family that's in the Zoom. We'll start with Kenzie. What's your one word?
I would say like fun and high energy.
Kendyl.
I was gonna say family, but I'll also say like support because we're always there for each other and that's how we get better is as one team.
Fair. And we'll come to the senior leader, AA, or the Class A MVP. Gadient, what was your one word?
What came to my mind right away was family, but I would also say driven.
I like it. I said you guys were driven with a goal. I said the 2-way you guys fell at the semifinals and you guys pushed through. It didn't really ever seem like it was in question. I would say you guys are, in my opinion, the top team in 1A throughout the year. So congratulations once again on a great year. If you're in AAU, I'll be seeing you out on the road a little bit here. Gadient, congratulations. And off to Mankato State. We'll be watching you there when you go for back-to-back there as well. So
Thank
going
you.
back-to-back all over the place and good here. Once again, you ladies, it was an honor to watch you guys. It was a joy to watch you guys. You guys played fantastic. Cannot wait to see what you guys do next year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Have a great night.